All right, let's talk about building a tougher, smarter trading bot. Today, we're going to dive into a super important part of the MQL5 language, the checkup functions. These are the tools that can take a fragile script and turn it into a professional-grade program that can actually survive out there in the real world.
So, let's just jump right in. And I want to kick things off with a question I think every single algorithmic trader really needs to ask themselves. Is your bot truly aware of what's happening around it? Or is it basically just flying blind, executing orders in the dark?
Okay, just picture this for a second. That bot you poured weeks, maybe even months into perfecting, suddenly starts to fail. But here's the scary part. It fails silently. It doesn't crash. You don't get a big flashing error message. It just stops placing trades correctly. This is the absolute nightmare of silent failure. A bug that lets your program keep running, but running wrong, and it could cost you a whole lot of money before you even notice something's off.
And that silent failure problem? Well, that's exactly why having a killer strategy just isn't enough. Your code has to be resilient. And that's our whole focus today, the MQL5 Checkup functions. This is your toolkit for building self-aware, error-proof bots and making sure those silent failures never get a chance to happen.
Okay, so let's see how we can actually build this out. Our very first tool is all about diagnosis. You can think of it like having a doctor on call for your code, ready to tell you exactly what's wrong the very instant it happens. So let's paint a picture here. Your code goes to do something super important, right? Like sending a trade order. But just for a split second, maybe the connection to your broker drops. The order fails. Now, without a proper check in place, your program might just keep chugging along, totally clueless that the trade it thinks is open was never even placed. And this is exactly where GetLastError code comes in. It's like your code's first responder. When that trade order failed, the terminal logged a specific error code. By calling GetLastCode right after that failed attempt, you grab that code. It doesn't just say, hey, something's broken. Nope, it gives you a precise diagnostic number that tells you why it went wrong. And you know what's so cool about this? Look how simple it is to actually put into practice. See, most of these critical MQL5 functions return true if they work and false if they fail. So you just wrap the function call in a simple if statement. If it comes back false, you immediately call GetLastError code and print the result. Boom! Instead of a silent failure, your log now clearly says something like error code equals 4756, telling you the trade failed due to an invalid request. Problem solved. All right, next up, let's talk about control. Because a really solid program doesn't just run wild, right? It also knows exactly when to stop. This is all about building a crucial emergency brake right into your code's logic. Man, this slide just perfectly shows a super common and honestly really frustrating problem. Over on the left, you've got this loop that's just a runaway train. It's going to run 7,000 times and there's nothing you can do about it. If you try to remove that EA from your chart while it's running, your terminal will probably just freeze up. But check out the right side. With just one simple line, if is stopped, that loop becomes instantly responsive. Each time it runs, it quickly asks, hey, has a user told me to stop? If the answer is yes, it breaks out gracefully. Suddenly you're back in control. And look, this isn't just me saying this is a good idea. This is a best practice, straight from the official MQL5 documentation. For any loop that's doing heavy lifting, like a complex backtest or some kind of optimization, this check is absolutely essential. It's what makes your program stable and user-friendly. A truly tough bot, it does more than just run a strategy and handle a few errors. It's got what you might call situational awareness. It actually understands the environment it's running in before it tries to do anything. I like to think of this as the bot's pre-flight checklist. Seriously, before it even thinks about placing a trade, a smart program has to ask itself some really basic questions about its current status and what it's allowed to do. And the great thing is, MQL5 gives you all the tools you need to get those answers. Using functions like TerminalInfo integer and MQLInfo integer, your program can check things like, am I even connected to the trade server? Is that auto trading button in the terminal actually switched on? Am I running in the strategy tester or on a live account? This stops it from trying to do things that are just doomed to fail from the start. For example, you can make sure a bot you built for one broker doesn't accidentally run on a different one, or confirm DLLs are allowed before you try to use them.
And here you can see that happening in real time. What you're looking at is a script that's actually asked the terminal, hey, where am I located? What's my file path? This is a perfect example of a program becoming self-aware. And that's so important for more advanced stuff, like reading from config files or writing to your own custom logs.
So here's the big takeaway, right? All these functions we've talked about, the error checking, the stop checking, the environment checks, they're not just little one-off tricks. They are the fundamental building blocks you weave together to create code that's genuinely robust and professional.
It really all boils down to these three pillars. Number 1, diagnose problems the second they happen with GetLastError. Number 2, maintain absolute control at all times with IsStopped. And number 3, be aware of your surroundings using TerminalInfo and MQLInfo. Get these three things right, and you're not just writing a script anymore. You're building a real, reliable, automated system. All right, so as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. A genius trading strategy means absolutely nothing if the code running it is built on a shaky foundation. The resilience of the program is what truly determines its success in the long run. So go take a look at your own code and ask yourself, is my bot just a strategy, or is it really built to survive?